Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. What's good, everybody? Kyle, what's good, man? Welcome. Jab them, Diggs, Tima, Tony, Orlando. Man, that's a part of the game, you know. People are gonna hate. It is what it is. Dreams, what's up, man? Jay, Nathan, Jacqueline, Sean, Jamie, Mr. Walcott, Antonio, Money Forbes, Dennis, Drick, Bianca, what's up? Fresco, what's good, brother? Montio, Big E, what's up, man? Too Smooth, Cameron, who else we got? Dylan, okay. Yeah, man, ain't nobody worried about that shit, man. There's one way to solve it. The person doesn't want to solve it, so, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta let the birds chirp. You know what I mean? You gotta let the birds chirp. Alrighty, guys. Happy Sunday. Sunday. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend, first and foremost. Welcome. Anybody that's new here, welcome. Everybody attends regularly. I appreciate all of you guys, as always. And, yeah, man, let's get right into it. We're going to hop into the economic calendar first, and then we're going to get into the watch list for the week ahead. I'm very happy with investing.com because they decided to finally update their thing finally, and it's been very cool to use now because it looks better. So let's go ahead and make this bigger for you guys. Let's go ahead and move this up here, and here we are. Tomorrow we are going into Monday, January 19th, which, holy shit, tomorrow's my brother's birthday. Forgot about that. Yeah, tomorrow's my brother's birthday. I don't even know how old he is, 32, 33, something like that. Anyway, Monday, January 19th, market will be closed. The stock market, as you guys have probably seen already, futures are open. Futures are open tonight from 6 p.m. to tomorrow at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The stock market is completely closed tomorrow, okay? Write it down. Don't forget it. Tuesday, nothing really going on here. This is where the market will resume as normal. Nothing going on there. Wednesday, we have Trump speaking at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is going to be interesting. We also have pending home sales here, and that is at 10 a.m. right after that Trump speech. So a very big day here on Wednesday. Thursday, January 22nd. This is also a very big day. Reason being is we have GDP at 8:30, jobless claims at 8:30, PCE at 8:30. That's a big morning, okay? If we can get all of these on the same page, we could definitely get some nice volatility from this, which we like to see as traders. So Thursday is definitely going to be a big day. Friday, January 23rd, very interesting day here as well. We have PMI at 9:45, and then we have our usual consumer sentiment. So I would say this is a, fairly heavy data week. Nothing, game-changing or breaking, but it's a big week, right? It's a big week. But let's go into what matters the most. Got quite a few nice setups we're going to cover tonight. First, I just want to admire or really analyze how much FOMO I have on this chart. I know you guys remember this. We were long for a swing here. We were literally in at the damn near bottom of this fucking legendary bull run. Crazy, man. Crazy. Metals are on fire. But here we are. We got January here. We're essentially in the same position we were, last week. We have a double inside bar now, right? This is the monthly time frame. This is a double inside monthly, right? We have the outside candle here, We have the outside candle here, and then we have this candle sitting inside of those two previous candles. On a lower time frame, that's going to look like a pennant, but on a higher time frame, like the monthly, you're going to get that double inside bar. So again, what matters most here is that previous month's low and that previous month's high, right? If you want to be very technical, 26,000, 25, 24.9. Those are the important levels. Weekly chart, I mean, this is where things get tricky, right? I mean, you could zoom out and we could say, is this going to be a fucking massive head and shoulders? Right? We could zoom out and say that, right? We have a left shoulder here. Are we going to trickle back down to this major demand, maybe? And then bounce again? Right? That's an idea. Right? But right now, what's happening is we're still holding, right? We have a low. We have our higher low. Right? We're still building. What matters the most is this major 23,000 level, right? That's that previous all-time high structure that we held recently. Here we are trading up here. Okay? Now, this is a tricky scenario. We're down about 300 points on the night. In my opinion, right? This chart is set up different than all the others because we have all-time high test, and then we have remained below this supply for the past 2 or 3 months, right? This 26,000 area has reigned supreme. And if you notice here, this is a textbook bearish reversal pattern, and I'm going to tell you why. We are not making a new high. We have not made a new high once, okay? No new high, no new high, no new high. But yet, we're making higher lows, forming that rising wedge pattern. Nice volume through last week's session. This chart is set up nicely, right? All the clues are there, so to say, right? We failed the supply. We've broke this uptrend, right? We have a lower high here on a lower time frame. To me, this looks like we could potentially absolutely nosedive. You know what I mean? This is huge to me, right? This is huge. What we really need to be paying attention to here on this chart is essentially what we're seeing right now, okay? As you guys can see, we got the supply failure. We all know that. But now we are approaching this big structure. 25,270, right? We have the supply failure. We have a lower high, lower high. Tonight, we got that big gap down. So what can we do here, right? Number one is where we're trading. In my opinion, if we're below that previous week's low, 25,400, shorts are valid, targeting 25,270. If we lose 25,270, it's all over. We're headed back down to 24,900s. If we lose 24,900, market's going into correction, right? That's the bearish scenario, right? We're below that uptrend, broke that structure. That's the bearish scenario. The bullish scenario is we hold this demand, 24,270, hold that previous week's low, get back above 24,470. First off, we get that overnight gap fill, right? And if we reclaim 25,550, we start working our way back up. But to me right now, this does look good for lower, right? I mean, obviously things can change, but I think this looks good for at least a test of that structure. ES, I mean, again, right? If you look at a higher time frame here, what did we just do? We just swept that previous all-time high structure, right? Obviously, that's creating that wick here on the monthly, but on a lower time frame, that's a classic failure to go higher, right? If you look at this on the weekly, what is it? A failure to go higher. You look at this on the daily, what is it? A failure to go higher. On top of that, look at the massive uptrend we just broke, right? Starting point, second touch, third, fourth, we are below it. We've officially broken the uptrend in terms of this trend line support, right? So my whole mindset on this chart is, hey, if we're below that 7,000 level, this is a tough bargain, okay? I think this ES chart is defined by two levels, 7,000 and 6870. Tonight, there's an important level, 6935, right? If we're below 6935, I do think we see lower into 6870. If we lose 68.70, that's where that real systematic selling will come into play, down into those 67.70s. The bullish scenario would be, hey, hold this demand, or two, reclaim 69.35, gap fill, and then reclaim 7,000. That's the bullish scenario, okay? So very simple here, but obviously, you know, we're just trading in that kind of gray area, right? Right now we are trading in that gray area, and it doesn't make it easy for us, right? We got to essentially wait and see what happens with tonight's gap down, right? That's all we got to do. We got to wait and see, right? Because we even broke this little uptrend here for being technical, right? So quite literally, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And we need to be patient, right? Because if you look at this chart for face value, we're in a range. Like I said, 68.70 all-time highs. That is a range. NQ, 25.270, 26,000. That is a range. So at the end of the day, if you want to be technical, this is just like a massive no trade zone, but obviously it's wide enough, 800 points, we can capitalize off it. RTY, this chart is defined by this single demand, 26.15, okay? Pullback, hold, that's your long opportunity. You can, wow, I just noticed something. There is an opportunity here short. There is, for sure. If we pop back into 26.80, 26.88 and fail, that could be a good opportunity back into that demand, right? That's higher risk, but that could be a nice opportunity. So keep that on watch as well. I think it's definitely something worthy to watch. YM, this is the level here, right? If you notice, right, the whole market is at make or break levels. We even have a nice head and shoulders here, and we're approaching that neckline, right? This is the neckline here. To me, I mean, everything looks very shaky, right? The level here on YM is 49,000, right? Everybody can see that. If we lose 49,000, excuse me, and hold, we're going to straight back into 48,570, potentially even 48,000, okay? This is the A+ setup, and I will trade this, right? I've always missed YM. If you guys recall, last Sunday, right? Last Sunday, I said this verbatim, right? While we were on the live, this was the A+ long setup, and look what that did last week. While we were on this live, I told you guys to go long on YM. Same with RTY. I told you guys to take RTY right here, and it ripped absolutely all week. But anyway, silver. I mean, this is a tough chart now, right? We're back at these all-time highs. We broke it. We attempted to hold. We failed. I mean, this is a difficult chart. You know, we kind of have this range now. So what I would say here is don't trade it, right? There's no safe way to trade silver, really, especially on a prop account or even a live account. Stay away from silver. Gold, this chart is defined by 46.50, right? Watch that pullback. Watch that hold. That's your long opportunity. If we fail at 46.50, it's very likely we're going to come down and at least fill that gap. So that also is another opportunity, okay? The big level here to watch is 46.50. Above, bullish, below it, can get a little ugly. What is this? This looks actually fairly good. What is this? Oil? Interesting. You got a beautiful break and retest here. Beautiful break and retest. I mean, I'm not much of an oil trader myself, but if you're interested in trading it, if we're above this 58.50, I say this is bullish as fuck. I think that looks very good, honestly. Yeah, it looks excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Anyway, next, let's get into individual names. Number one, we have AMD. Very nice chart here. Got the nice little triple bottom. Reclaimed that structure last week. I think this chart is set up for a nice move, especially if the market stays strong. 223.50, 225.50, pullback, hold. It's our long opportunity. If AMD can get above 238. That also is our long opportunity for continuation back into 250 plus. Microsoft, weak link here, right? But we got to be cautious because we are approaching a big demand. So Microsoft here is a nice either or setup. We have this very big supply here, followed by this very big demand, right? So our trade is essentially based off of 1, a failure, 2, a hold, or obviously continuation being a reclaim and retest for longs, or we get that clean breakdown for shorts. So the big levels here to watch, 465, 455, anywhere in between would be your no trade zone. Meta, essential identical chart, right? We're pinned here. Major supply, major demand. Last week, this was a beautiful trade, by the way. That breakdown under 637, that was beautiful. But what can we do now with Meta? Well, first off, we could watch it pop back into 637 for a short opportunity. 2, we could watch a pullback in the 606, 600 area for a long opportunity. Or if Meta decides to just lose its marbles, we could look for that opportunity short below 600, back down into these daily lows at 580. So no matter how it goes, long as Meta moves, this will be a nice setup for us to trade. Next, we have Tesla. Pretty much identical setup here, right, in terms of structure, major demand. Right, this is my whole trade thesis. This is based off this 435 level. Whether we get a break, reclaim, and hold, that's a nice long opportunity for Tesla. Or we get a nice clean break and hold below. That's our nice short opportunity back into those daily lows at 422.50. So the level here to watch on Tesla is that 435. Amazon. Beautiful chart here. But again, just like the other charts, a little tricky. Major demand, 234. Major structure, 240. Okay? We could watch for, hey, a pullback, hold for longs, or we could watch a reclaim of 241 for longs. And this is pretty much the nature of this chart, right? Considering we have held, we are building those higher lows. We did reclaim that structure. I would say, long as Amazon is above 234, this is a bullish chart. But you best believe, if Amazon does fade this 234, guess what's going to happen? We're coming straight back down to 224, and probably in a day, if I were to say so myself, right? Those big impulsive moves usually are met with the same intensity, right? So you see a big massive move up. When it comes time to actually meet that same imbalance, you usually see the same intensity and type of move, right? But yeah, man, side note, I'm mad at you guys and I'm mad at myself. Roblox, this was our A+ swing setup last week and I fucking missed it. I spoke highly of this 75 level. Beautiful break and retest. Beautiful break and retest from last week. And I missed it. I did. Hopefully some of you guys caught it. But, man, that was honestly the cleanest swing I've seen in a long time. Straightforward. Beautiful break and retest. No complications. And even Monday, you got that beautiful strong closure. Back above 75.75. That was your confirmation to enter. Stop loss below those daily lows. That was just a textbook A+ setup. I don't think it's over. And that's why I have it on watch right now. My level to watch here is 82.40, right? If we can get a pullback here in at 82.40, form a nice hourly higher low or daily higher low, this is going to be our swing opportunity on Roblox back into this 100 psychological level. So this is kind of the A+ swing setup this week. Hoping we can get that pullback, nice higher low above that 82.40 would trigger a nice position for us. mRNA. This is also a chart that I really like. Fundamentally, it's not the best company, but chart-wise, this is beautiful. Beautiful daily double bottom here. Weekly double bottom, excuse me. Just broke this massive structure. Fresh higher low off that structure reclaim. Nice rising volume on the breakout. This is what an A+ swing setup looks like. Okay, so this is one of our top watches this week. mRNA. Long as we're above 35.55, this is a bullish setup. I honestly would have liked to enter off of that retest, but obviously I didn't see it in time. That was very clean. But we still have opportunity here. If we can get a pullback, nice little hourly or daily high or low above 35.50, this is our A plus swing setup here. Our stop would be below that 29, and we would rock out. But yeah, that does look good. Very good. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching this week. That's why I'm watching it. We got a short trading week. Market will be closed tomorrow. The stock market will be closed tomorrow. So everybody enjoy your day. I'm going to be up in the morning. I'm not doing anything. So we usually do have nice volatility. I might pop on trade futures for a little bit, maybe like an hour, 30 minutes with the minties and first step trading. I'll do that in the morning. Hop on for a little bit. It's up to y'all. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm probably going to sleep in, actually. Never mind. I take that back. I need to sleep. Yeah, I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. Scratch that. Scratch that. Anyway, before we do the giveaway, anybody have any questions, whatever it may be, whether it's trading, personal, business, entrepreneurship, anything it may be, now is your time to ask it. Whatever you guys got to ask. Ask. So I know they didn't eat the rest of this chicken. What expiration to use for 3 to 10 day swings? I mean, you never really know how long a swing's going to be, but you always want to buy adequate time. So if I plan on holding a swing for a week, I'll buy a month out. If I plan on holding a swing for a month, I'll buy 6 months out. You know what I mean? You always want to have time. Sleep when you're dead. Not sleeping is the quickest way to get there. Sleep is key, man. Ask for my setup? What do you mean, Patrick? How to follow your signals with a 50K account? To the T, man. When I enter. You set your stop. Where I set my stop, you set your take profit. Where I set my take profit, you know? You just got to be on it. I think I have the easiest structure for following a trade. You know what I mean? Like look at this. I don't think it gets any easier than this. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen anybody else that structures a signal the same way I do, or live trade the same way that I do, right? I'm very thorough. I'm very precise. I let you know the rationale before entering. I let you know what I'm watching before entering. I go over my whole game plan pre-market, you know, so everything ties together. I go over my game plan pre-market. I hop on with you guys. I let you guys know what I'm watching, when I'm watching it, when to prepare, when I'm entering, what I'm entering at, what my average is, what my stop is, what my target is, why I'm holding, why I sold. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think I could really do anything else in that aspect. But for example, right, when it comes to futures specifically, short NQ at 25,681. There's my average. There's my stop. There's my target. You know what I mean? So everything's there. Long as you're within 5, no more than 15 points of my average, you're good. You know, ideally, you want this to be about 10 points. I mean, long as you're within 5 to 10 points. But options, it's the same way. When I enter an options trade, I enter, you know, my average. Everything's clear, precise, no blurred lines. Yeah. On taxes for trading entities, always set money to the side. It's the best way to do it, and consult a CPA. Do I ever utilize the RSI indicator? Yes, when it comes to swinging and long term. It has zero application to day trading, though. It's a lagging indicator. Rest is great for the body, for sure. What? Let me see. What? Nice, team. I love to hear that. If you're on a prop firm and you still have trailing drawdown, you just got to take profit. You know, it sucks. You're going to miss out on some money, but when you have trailing drawdown, right, I'm going to give you guys a little key here. When you're long, right, don't sell when it pulls back, right? Sell into an uptick, right? Sell as it's going higher because you're not going to chip into the trailing drawdown. Same thing for being short, right? If you're short, you want to buy your position back, right? Exit your position as it's going lower, right? You don't want to exit when it bounces because this area here is chewing all through your trailing drawdown. Okay, so until you get over that trailing down on buffer, you want to trim into those upticks long, trim into those downticks short, so you can preserve that trailing drawdown. Bro, stop spamming. The more you spam, the less I want to answer it. Share thoughts on taking profits on equity. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. What do you mean? Share thoughts on taking profits on equity? I mean, the whole point of equity, right? I mean, it all depends on your intentions. If you entered equity to day trade it. If you entered it to swing trade it. If you entered it long terms means 5 to 10 years plus. You know what I mean? So, all depends on your intentions. All right. You still spammed it again after I said that. You're going to sit in timeout for a little bit. Think about your actions. No offense, doctor, but I'm diagnosing you with spamming disorder. How about that? How can I work on holding my winners and cutting my losers? You gotta rewire that mindset, man. I got a question for you guys, right? How many of you guys can hold a losing trade forever, right? Put in me. If you can hold a losing trade forever, but your winning trade you cut short. Put in me if that's you. Where y'all degenerates at? Say me. If you hold your losing trades into the abyss, but you can't hold your winners, put in me. If you hold your losers into the absolute abyss, but you can't hold your winning trades, put in me. Now let's all think for a second. Does that make sense? Let's not think about trading for a second, right? Does it make sense? It doesn't, right? The whole ideology behind trading, right? Our whole goal, right, is to keep our losers smaller and maximize our time in winning trades. So every single one of you guys who said me, you are essentially trading backwards. You're maximizing your time in losing trades, and you're minimizing your time in winning trades, right? And a lot of it is because of emotion. You see green, you don't want to be red, so you take the green. You see green, but you want more green, but you're nervous it'll go red, so you take the small green. But when you're in a red trade, what do? You hold on to the red trade just to hope to be green. Or you hold on to the red trade to hope to be a little less red. Or you add to the red trade just to be a little less red, or you get out break even. So when you sit back and really think about it, the whole kind of thought process behind what you're doing, which is wrong, right? Which is very, very wrong. Your whole thought process is, I don't want to be red. But your actions are showing otherwise, because you're willing to stay in a losing trade for longer than you are a winning trade. So your actions are essentially saying, hey, I like losing money, and I am willing to hold as long as I can to lose the most amount of money, right? But it also goes to a fact that a lot of you guys don't have the proper knowledge in terms of how to hold a winning trade, in terms of what to look for into actually giving yourself confidence to stay in that position. So a big factor of it is also the experience, the education aspect, the confidence, right? A lot of you guys know how to look at a chart, right? But looking at a chart is 1% of what you have to do, right? 1%, right? If you can enter a trade, that's awesome. Do you know how to manage it? If you enter a trade, that's awesome. Do you know where to stop out? If you enter a trade, that's awesome. Do you know when to sell because price action isn't agreeing with that position anymore? When you're in a position, do you know when to move your stop to protect profits if you are in a winning trade, right? If some of those answers are no's, I'm going to be honest, you're not ready to trade, right? A lot of people start trading without the proper knowledge and education that they need to actually be a trader, right? At that point, you're just clicking buttons, right? You are. And that's why someone like myself, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, is the best way to learn how to trade, right? Someone else, for example, I'm not knocking anybody, I'm just saying, right? They sit on there and they say, hey, buy here, right? You have no rationale, you have no nothing, right? Hey, exit here, right? All you know is you bought something, you sold something, it might have been a win or it might have been a loss, right? That's all you know, right? You bought something, you sold something, you might have won, you might have lost, right? That's all you know, right? There's nothing to learn from that, right? Which is the whole reason why I do what I do. Win, lose, or draw, you learn something, right? Oh, Felony said we were watching this because, hey, it's a failure to go higher. We got a lower high after the failure to go higher. The entry was based off of the 2-minute lower high. We got the 5-minute candle close confirmation. I know why we entered this. He said his stop loss was because of the lower high. He said his target was because of the pre-market low. He said his target was because of the overnight low. He said his target was because of a higher time frame level, right? You know what happened, right? You're not sitting there just saying, oh, I entered because he said buy. I entered because he hit sell. I know I made money. I know I lost money. No, you know and you learn, right? So if you're going to trade as a new trader, I don't give a fuck if it's me or not. You need to find someone that does close to what I do, right? Use me as the poster child. Even if you don't like me, go find someone else. I don't give a fuck. But if not, you're not going to get anywhere, right? It's counterintuitive to trade with someone who is not helping you, right? Someone telling you to buy something is not helping you. Right? You might make money today, you might lose it tomorrow, but long term, it is not sustainable. You will not be profitable. Okay? That is a fact. You can make money long term, right? But on a day trading basis, in order to replicate someone perfectly, right? Which a lot of you guys fail at, right? Some of you guys, put in me if you've been green with me, hopped off, and threw it in the trash can. You don't even have to put me. I know you guys have, right? It's a fact. I know you guys have. It's a fact, right? All I'm saying, right? If you guys take anything away from what I just talked about, right? It all starts with a proper education. I don't care if you learn from me. I don't care who you learn from. Just make sure whoever you're learning from can show that they have a working system and a viable strategy that they can translate into education so you can retain the information and actually apply it that is real value for you to see results from over the long term. Okay? Taking a mentorship is not going to make you profitable, right? It will give you the blueprint, which is what I like to relate my mentorship to, like Google Maps or Waze, right? I always like to say that. Right? That is what I would recommend, right? If you're completely new or you find yourself struggling, you got to take that leap of faith. You know what I mean? It took me over 2 years, right? Over 2 years. I never took a course, never took a mentorship, and that is horrible, right? Knowing what I know now, I would have done that totally different. If I found a reputable mentor who I could have learned from that delivered it in an organized manner for me to digest and retain and actually apply the information, I would have done it in a heartbeat. Right? So that's what I tell you guys, man. If you're not at the point to where, you answered no to any of the questions I asked, a little while ago, you shouldn't be trading, okay? And that's a fact. And if you're following someone's signals and they're not delivering it in a manner like I am, don't follow them because there's nothing to come from it except if you made or lost money. Your job as a trader is to be 1% better each day, even as a person, a human being, right? To be 1% better each day. So if you're not gaining anything, you're losing something. You're losing your time by even being there. So I say that to say, even if you guys don't want to, first step trading or mentorship, I don't care, right? Whether you do or don't. It's the place to be if you're really serious. But if you don't like me as a person, I understand, right? I do. I get it. But that's what I would say to you guys if you guys are really serious about taking your trading to the next level. But, yeah, man. Let's go ahead and knock out this giveaway. And, see what we got here. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Let's get it. Let's go. Keyword is FST. Regular, we're going to turn up the luck. 20 times the luck for regulars. I can't do 20? Oh, I can only do 10. So, all right. Moderator will put it 5. VIP, I don't even know what that is. We'll put it at 5. Regulars get 10x of luck. Spammers, remember, spammers, you're going to get fucked. If you type it more than one time, you're going to get cooked, okay? Only type it one time. I haven't started yet. Only type it one time. If not, you're going to get cooked, okay? Let's see how many people can't follow directions. Only type one time. FST. That's all you got to do. Anybody get cooked yet? Yep, J-Rock got cooked. Elite Experience. Nicholas. Who else we got? Ty Mattel, cooked. Justin, cooked. Yorkie, damn. My man, Yorkie. Who else we got? Kaylee. Kane Lou, damn. Patchy, Best Music. Martha, wow. Orlando. Beef and Butter Guy. Shaking my head, man. Alpha. Joshua. Warren. Damn. All right. Good luck, everybody. Sir Brown. Sir Brown. Please come to the front. And please type in the chat, actually, before this hits a minute. Because if not, it's going to somebody else. Yep. You got until a minute. Here. Perfect. Love to see it. Since he was quick, we'll do one more for good measure. One more for good measure. Giveaway options. Keyword. It's 2026. Remember, you type it more than one time, you're cooked. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to give this one... Whoops. I'm going to give this one... Not that long. We'll do 15 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Ba-da-ba-ba. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and good luck, everybody. Warren H. Didn't he spam last time? My man learned this lesson. Hell yeah, love to see it. Love to see people learning and earning, man. Hell yeah. He learned and he earned. Good luck, my boy. Good shit. Where you at, War? Got 40 seconds here. 30 seconds. Where you at? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Love it. Shout out to the man, Warren. Alrighty, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and... I know, man. I can't wait to get kicked back. I can't. I'm going to contact support again, see if we can get on there next week for sure. I can't deal with this shit. YouTube is ass cheeks. Ass cheeks. But, yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to be lingering around till about 11. We'll go to sleep at 11. If we get a setup, I'll be sure to post it in the chat for you guys as always. And, yeah, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it as always. It's greatly appreciated. Let's have a great trading week. Good vibes only. Positive energy. And, yeah, man. Again, appreciate every single one of you guys. Be sure to smack that like button on the way out. And, I'll see you guys on the other side, all right? You guys have a great night, everyone. Peace.